Hey, ENG4U, Faisal here again. Hopefully it's the afternoon at this point and you guys are doing well on that plagiarism stuff. And hopefully this is the last video like this I'm going to make for you guys because I'm just going to be back normally tomorrow. Seriously, I hate being away like this. This is the worst. But anyway, I wanted to make one last video for you guys because as a class, we really have to talk about your final CPT, your novel study that we're going to be doing at the end of this class, because quite frankly, it's a novel and you probably want to start reading it as soon as possible. So let's talk about that. Okay, so again, novel study is the thing we want to talk about here. So you'll notice if you go to the content tab that Unit 5 is now visible, and you've got an overview there, and then there's Activity 1, the blog. We're only going to be focused on one thing today, which is going to be picking a book, right? So the website has given you a solid 56 books to select from there, right? I am not familiar with every single one, right? I really wanted to change this list actually, but unfortunately the TDSB will not let me do that, right? So these are the books, live with them, love them or live with them, right? So nevertheless, basically, you've got a list of 56 books here that you can choose from to read. Now, how do you know which one of these you want to read, right? It's just a title and an author. Well, very simple. All of these are linked to a Goodreads page, right, which will tell you all about the book that you have selected, right? Five Little Indians is about, I believe, a residential school story. Um, the Illegal, which one is that one again? Oh yeah, that's the dystopian marathon thingamajigger. So yeah, there's all sorts of different genres here, and you can take your time and select something that you think is going to fit you, right? Because you can pick any of these books, right? But the whole thing is you should pick a book, right? Because well, if you don't, then you're going to end up being having only 2 days left in the class, and you have to make an essay, you have to make a website, and all of that stuff, right? So that's one thing I want to accomplish here today, right? So Lorraine can, of course, or Miss Estageda can, of course, tell you all about how you can, look at these books and how you can make that selection, of course, right? But again, it's a list of 56. Pick one that you think is going to be interesting. Personally, the one I am going to be reading during this class is this Moon of the Crested Snow book, right? It's a sort of Aboriginal science fiction thing, right? Where I believe the story is, I haven't read it yet, but I believe the story is that, they are in a sort of post apocalyptic society, and all of the rest of Canada is destroyed, but they still survive, right? So I'm interested in reading that, and I'll be reading that during the summer once I'm through with this madness that I'm going through here. But what you're going to do is, once you've found a book that you think you can live with and read, then you're going to pick it, right? But what do you do then, right? Because as you can see, the TDSB has not provided you with PDFs. So first of all, you have a couple of options for finding your book. So the first way you have to find your book is to actually go to this thing on the website called Virtual Library. It'll take you to this page. Now, the TDSB website, just like Brightspace, is not maybe the best designed website in human history, in the history of the internet. So watch me carefully when I show you how to do this, right? So you're going to hit Search Catalog right here, right? And it will take you to this thing. It'll have a bunch of elementary school books in there because, of course, it will. And, you're going to search for, your book here. So mine is Moon of the Crested Snow. So let's go with that. Moon of the Crested Snow. Search. So it's going to give you a bunch of things. It might not even give you the right stuff right at the beginning, right? That's no really good. But what you're really looking for is something with the call number ebook, right? It might actually be easier if you just click format ebook, right? Because then it'll just filter it. But nevertheless, it'll say here, click here to access the Destiny Discover login page. Click on the TDSB logo and then search for the title, right? So as if that couldn't be more convoluted, right? So you click here, right, and it'll take you over to this website, and you'll click on TDSB, students and staff. You will then go ahead and yeah, log in. It'll go through like 100 things, and all right, there we go. Now we're on this website, right? To Destiny Discover. What an amazing website. So we're gonna look for a moon of crested snow, and what do you know? I've got it right here. I can press open, and it will, after loading for a bit, or maybe more than a bit, yes, it will pop up the page with the novel's text, right? And you can go through it just like you would go through any other ebook, right? So, yeah, that is how you get to Destiny Discover, and that's how you can get most of the novels on that list. All right, so that is option one. Now, if you can't find it on Destiny Discover, you do have a couple of other options. You have the Toronto Public Library, which should have a copy of all of those books. And of course, if you've got the cash and you're willing to put down the money, you can grab all of these off Amazon or Kobe or something similar, right? So that is another option that you have as well, right? But most of those books should be on Destiny Discover. And if you're having trouble finding a particular book, feel free to ask me or indeed Miss Estajaja if she is willing to help with that. I don't know. But, just ask me certainly, and we will work on finding you your book so that you can read this thing for the assignment. Once you've figured out what you want to read, what you want to do, then feel free to go down to action, go down to book choice. It says here, notify your me. Okay, I did not write that, guys. Just so you know, remember, the Brightspace stuff is made by the Ministry of Education, so I didn't write notify your me. Notify me of your book choice and provide a brief explanation of why you are interested in reading this book and how you are going to acquire the book. Do this by pulling all of this information into a PDF or a doc file and submitting it below. I'd prefer doc. This is for a completion grade, right? So again, you just click on here, submit your work, and just tell me exactly what book you have chosen and how you're going to go about getting it. And if you need help getting it, feel free to ask me. Now, some of you might be thinking, I'm looking at that list of 56 or whatever books, and I don't like any of them. I want to read a book that I like and that, isn't on this list. So, first of all, there's the problem with that is that I do want you to read a new book, right? So, I don't necessarily want you to just like pick your favorite book and talk about that, right? Because that doesn't work, right? And the whole idea of this assignment is that this should be a sort of university level book, right? So don't get me wrong, I like, Harry Potter and all that as well, but, it's probably not something that you're going to be studying at a university level, right? So that's why those 56 books have been curated the way they are. That being said, if you've got a book that you want to read and you want to pitch to me and say, hey, teacher, can I do this book instead? Right? I'm willing to hear you out. I'm not going to guarantee, yeah, sure, I'll be all right with that, but just tell me what you've got in mind, and we can maybe talk about it at very least, right? Maybe one of you wants to read my book, right? That would be okay. That would be also kind of weird, so maybe not. Let's not do that. Oh, by the way, I do have a book on Amazon if you're interested, but we can talk about that when I'm back. Anyway, so let's leave it at that, and we will hopefully sort that out with Miss Estajada there to guide you, and I will, unless something horrible happens to me in the next 24 hours, I will be there for you guys tomorrow, and we can finally meet in real time, and hopefully, everything will go smoothly from here on. Anyway, so that's it for me for today. So your tasks for the rest of the day are to, number one, make sure you pick a book, right, and send me that note about which book you have selected. So that's number one. And number two is, if you have not already finished the plagiarism exercise, please do that today. All right, thanks, guys. Take care.